Hey guys, welcome back to the video. Today's going to be the first in a two-part video series where we discuss the drags and pulls on liquidity. So these are two negative forces which negatively impact a company's liquidity position. So today we're going to focus on drags. But yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so when we think about forces that have a negative impact on a company's liquidity position, we're thinking about factors which have a negative impact on their cash position. So the two main forces that I'm referring to are drags on liquidity and pulls on liquidity. So we'll start off by looking at drags. Drags are factors that delay the receipt of a company's cash inflows or reduce the amount of cash inflows they receive. So it's all focused around cash coming into the company, factors and forces that improve a company's liquidity position. That's the focus of drags on liquidity. There are three main drags which the curriculum focuses upon. The first force is uncollected accounts receivables. So that is when amounts owed by customers remain outstanding. So customers aren't paying up. They're not. They've sort of purchased the goods and services. The revenues come into the company, but the company is yet to receive the cash. So yeah, the longer that amounts owed by customers to the company remain outstanding, the greater the possibility and probability that those amounts will never be collected by the company. So that's probably one of the key drags on a company's liquidity position is customers sort of buying the company's goods and services but never actually paying cash for them. So that will reduce a company's liquidity position and their cash inflows. The second main drag on liquidity is inventory becoming obsolete. So if inventory is held, in the company's storeroom for long time periods and isn't sold, that might be a sign that customers are no longer demanding the product, there's no appetite for it, and therefore it's effectively becoming worthless, or can only be sold at a discounted price, so a price below the current sales price. The longer that inventory is left unsold and isn't being picked up by customers, the longer it's going to take for a sale to take place, and then the longer it will take for the company to collect the cash that is owed to them. So that's another drag on liquidity because, again, it's taking longer and longer for a company to make a sale and then longer and longer for them to receive the cash inflow from that sale. So that's the second drag on company liquidity. The third drag relates to borrowing. So constraints on a company's borrowing if credit conditions are tightening due to potential adverse economic factors or conditions, short-term debt and the associated cash inflow that comes into the company on the back of raising debt can become more expensive, so it will be a greater cost to the company, or even in extreme circumstances, it could become unavailable to the company entirely. So a restriction on borrowing can lead to lower cash inflows that come in because the lower the access to credit, the less cash that's going to come in from loans and borrowings from lenders. That's the three key drags on company liquidity. How do companies go about preventing these forces from taking place? So companies will often adopt more stricter enforcement policies around customer credit, tightening the terms that they give to their customers to ensure that customers are paying on time, they pay quicker, and there's less delinquencies that take place in regards to sort of outstanding customer balances. The risk of that approach to a company, the risk of them adopting stricter credit terms with their customers, is that a more aggressive approach can deter sort of higher quality customers who would only purchase the company's goods on credit and wouldn't make the purchase on tighter terms or even on sort of immediate. If they had to pay immediately in cash, that would be unattractive. A company can sort of prevent a drag on liquidity by adopting stricter sort of terms with their customer base, but you could end up pushing away your highest quality customers if your terms are too strict and too stringent. So yeah, that's drags on liquidity. That's the three key negative forces that restrict cash inflows into the business. I'll do another video focusing on pulls on liquidity, which focuses more on the cash outflow side. So yeah, any questions, feel free to fire away in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video.